Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Recently I found another completely underrated weapon, rivaling the clearing capabilities of the Juju-shortbow in dungeons, and I realized the crazy potential of this weapon for its cheap price. You will almost certainly recognize this weapon if you've ever been ghost hunting. The weapon is the Soul Whip. Now you may be asking what use this weapon could possibly have outside of ghost grinding and occasionally void glooms, and that's what I'm here to show you. First of all, you can obtain this item from the Spooky Festival. It is obtained by fishing up Grim Reapers and killing them for the soul fragments required for the crafting of the whip. Alternatively, you can wait until the end of the Spooky Festival, at which point the price of the ectoplasm and soul fragments will plummet from far increased supply. Assuming you purchase the materials, the whip will cost around 9 million coins directly after a Spooky Festival and 13 million coins otherwise. Now I'll discuss requirements. The Soul Whip needs fishing 26 to use and to fish up Reapers. It isn't easy to obtain this skill requirement in a fast amount of time. It will take you many hours of fishing with a good setup in order to level up to 26. However, there is an easier way. Using minions, you can get the level pretty quickly and sell the minions afterward. Fishing minions are the best for this, however they are costly and do not pay themselves off quickly. However, clay minions cost around 1 million per minion, assuming you have a lava bucket, a tier 11 minion, and a super compactor for each. They make around 500,000 coins per minion per week, leading to profits that will pay off the minions and the Soul Whip by the time they give enough XP. I used clay minions without realizing the amount of XP they gave. The story of how I found this overpowered weapon was that I was looking for flips after a spooky festival, and saw how much cheaper soul whips were to craft. I made several million this way, and by chance I decided to hit a zombie with it to test the weapon. The damage was as good as my liver dagger, and it pierces. I decided to keep one, and I spent around 1 million coins maxing it and 9 million crafting it. You've seen how to obtain and to use the Soul Whip, and now it's time to see it in action. The Soul Whip costs around 15 million coins maxed, or about 10 million if it's after a spooky festival. This falls into the price range of the most meta weapons, such as the Juju-shortbow and the spirit-sceptre. In the following clips, you'll see how the Soul Whip can match these much more expensive weapons in dungeons, specifically floor 6. First up, we have the Juju-shortbow. As can be seen in this clip, the Juju clears very quickly and deals obscene DPS to mini-bosses, costing around 20 million coins for a max Juju and requiring Enderman Slayer 5. Next, the spirit-sceptre. The scepter clears very quickly with massive AoE damage, however it is weaker against mini-bosses than other options, costing around 30 million for a max scepter and requiring a floor 4 completion. Finally, the Soul Whip. At only 10 million coins, it is by far the cheapest weapon. It is decent at clearing, almost as good as the Juju, and the same for mini-bosses. However, one thing the Soul Whip does that other options do not is heal you on hits. Because the Soul Whip heals you on hits, and it pierces, it is super good for surviving floor 6 terracottas and floor 7 wither minor mobs. When paired with the Mender's Fedora, it can even allow you to solo floor 6 as a DPS class, such as the Archer in this clip. Now, I'll show you the use cases of these 3 weapons in Slayers. I'll start with the Juju-shortbow again. If you are using melee for the boss, having to switch armor to spawn it with a mage setup can be quite annoying. Therefore, the Juju-shortbow is excellent for use in spawning your Slayer bosses. As you can see in the following clips, it's great for spawning Enderman Slayer bosses. Another use of the Juju is actually the Void Gloom Seraph's Malevolent Hit Shield. Occasionally, Enderman Slayer bosses become immune to damage, and you have to hit them a certain amount of times to damage them again. The Juju allows you to quickly clear the Malevolent Hit Shield without being in range of the boss. It's even faster if you use the Ferocity buffs from Full Final Destination and the Vorpal Katana. Outside of that, the Juju bow doesn't have much other use in Slayers due to the fact that other weapons spawn it faster, spirit-sceptre, and most bosses are immune to bow damage. Next, we have the spirit-sceptre. This weapon is the best for zombie, wolf, and spider bosses. It can spawn them the fastest out of any weapon other than the Hyperion and can destroy them just as quickly. However, the Sven Packmaster is unfortunately immune to all magic damage. However, the Spirit Scepter will still spawn it super fast, even if you have to constantly swap armor sets. For the sake of video length, I'll include one clip of a full T4 Tarantula full boss, and one clip of the Spirit Scepter taking out a Tier 4 Revenant Horror. Finally, the Soul Whip. This weapon is decent at spawning Slayer bosses, far better than the Liver Dagger, but also at killing them. I'll include a full clip of spawning and killing a Tier 1 Void Gloom Seraph, because Tier 2 takes too long. Void Gloom is just about the only boss you can reliably hit with the Soul Whip and Juju, hence why I'm using a Void Gloom to demonstrate. If you are thinking of purchasing this weapon only for Slayers, I'd urge you against it, as it is simply too hard to hit Slayer bosses, despite it being a good weapon. Note, if you didn't know, the Soul Whip allows you to left click like a normal sword and right click to throw the whip. Both of them heal you on hit, and both of them do the same damage, effectively doubling your DPS and healing. Thank you for watching. This sums up this short video. Please remember to like and subscribe. Trying to reach 100 subscribers. And in conclusion, I would recommend the Soul Whip only if you're playing Berserker. It's really nice for clearing dungeons, but should not be used as a main weapon.